Good day, students, families, neighborhood community members, teachers, staff, and admin. For those of you who don't know me, I am Miss Johnson, and I serve as the Dean of Curriculum and Instruction for STEM. Today, I'm sharing my SEL proposal, We Grow Together, which is focused on building belonging, healthy relationships, and a positive school culture so that every student can thrive both academically and emotionally. I am so glad that all of you have chosen to attend this proposal today. It will take all of us in this room and all of our school stakeholders to create the environment and school community that we want our young people to not only experience, but also help cultivate every day. I'll organize this presentation into three parts. First, here's what. Here's what our data and students are telling us. Second, so what? What's the kind of school we're trying to build? And finally, now what? What's the SEL program I'm proposing? How we'll roll it out? And how we'll know if it's working. I'll start with the here's what. Here's the current reality in our school based on student voice and student data. On the New York City Department of Education student survey, most students say they know where to go in school if they need mental health support. That's a real strength and tells us we have trusted adults in the building. At the same time, far fewer students say they feel happy at school most days, and many say they feel worried most days and don't have enough time to talk about their emotions. So students know who to go to, but many are still walking into the building stressed and not consistently feeling emotionally supported. That tells us that our current systems are not enough. Our behavior and culture data add another important layer to this picture. Let's start with the positives. Positive behaviors such as kindness, helping peers, and leadership are logged, but much less often than infractions. Kickboard shows very high levels of low level disruption. Things like talking when the expectation is silent, not following directions, being off task, and getting out of our seats. We also see repeated concerns with disrespect and rally behavior. There's 147 disciplinary resets, a total of 38 disrespect to staff logs, and a total of 145 disrespect to student incidents logged. And we still have out of school suspensions at a rate that concerns us. We're a small school. We have less than 200 students. We're into the second month of school, and yet we have 12 out of school suspensions. Together, all of these data points tells us that many students are struggling with self-management, relationship skills, and how to handle emotions in our classrooms and hallways. So what does all of this mean for the kind of school that we want to be? I'll turn our attention to key parts of our mission, vision, and value statement that directly align with our SEL initiative. Our vision is for a school that's responsive to the evolving needs of our students, families, and community. A place where conversation leads to meaningful action and justice is embedded in every practice. Hence, our meeting today. Key part of our mission is to empower students to know themselves, challenge inequity, and lead with purpose, developing the confidence, skills, and compassion to thrive in college and career life. Key part of our values makes this even more concrete. We commit to cultivating belonging, pursuing excellence with purpose, leading with justice, learning and growing together, restoring and healing, and empowering voices. Living these values every day means we need systems that help students and adults build skills for empathy, accountability, and courageous conversation. That's exactly what our SEL work needs to support. So, what shifts do we need to see? If our SEL work is successful, the school will look like students visibly connected to anchor adults, engaged classrooms, calm hallways, restorative circles, and a visible post secondary office and internship opportunities. It will sound like warm greetings, students and adults naming emotions, using restorative language, and families and students speaking up in decision making spaces. And it will feel safe, predictable, and fair. Students will feel they belong here, are challenged, and are supported and see real futures for themselves beyond graduation. So, given all of that, now what? What are we actually going to do about it? We've looked at the data, we've centered ourselves in our vision, mission, and value statement, and we've talked about how we want our school to look, sound, and feel. We've established what we want for our community. Now, what vehicle will we use to get us there? I'm proposing that we adopt the ruler approach from the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence as the foundation for our school wide SEL work. So, why ruler? Ruler is the right fit for us for three main reasons. First, it matches our needs. Our students report high worry and low happiness, and our data shows lots of low level disruption and unkind interactions. Ruler focuses on understanding emotions, managing them, building healthy relationships, and making thoughtful decisions in the moment. Second, it's a whole school approach. It's not just lessons and advisory. It gives us tools we can use in advisory, classrooms, hallways, staff meetings, and restorative spaces, so students experience a consistent language and set of expectations. Third, it gives us concrete tools. I'll name a few. For instance, there's the mood meter, where students and adults name what they're feeling and choose helpful strategies. And second, the meta moment, a pause between trigger and reaction to respond as our best selves. That's just naming a few of the many tools that Ruler has that we can incorporate in our SEL program. These tools directly tackle the everyday issues our data shows: disrespect, drama, and quick reactions. I didn't just pick Ruler randomly. I used the CASTLE framework as my filter. CASTLE, which stands for the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, defines high quality SEL around five core competencies: self awareness, self management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision making. It also pushes schools to think at the student, adult, and school wide levels. Ruler is CASTLE approved, which matters because it tells us it's aligned to those competencies and has research behind it showing positive impacts on climate and relationships when implemented well. Now, what's the program design? In our design, we'll use Ruler to intentionally build self awareness, self management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision making. And we'll do that through an explicit equity lens that honors students' identities and lived experiences. Now, what's the proposed implementation plan? To implement this effectively, we'll roll it out in four phases over the course of the year. Phase 0 is our pre launch. In late spring and early summer, an SEL/Ruler leadership team will be formed. We'll receive initial training, design the structure, map the program onto existing systems, prepare materials, and garner community feedback on our plan. This ensures collective efficacy, and we incorporate multiple vantage points to avoid unintended blind spots. Phase 1, our launch phase. During the first 30 days, we'll train staff, co create charters, and start simple routines like mood meter check ins. In phase 2, will be a full integration mode. We'll add tools like the meta moment and blueprint and build in proactive circles and launch a peer council. In phase 3, our continuous improvement stage, we use data to refine and sustain the work so it becomes part of our culture and not just a 1 year initiative. Now, how do we determine if the proposed program is working? To know if it's working, we'll track a bundle of indicators: family feedback via data and internal surveys, SEL walkthroughs, and shoutouts to where ruler practices are actually happening, key New York City DOE surveys items like about belonging and emotional support, and kickboard data, monitoring suspensions, resets, and attendance. Looking at all of this together will help us see real patterns over time. Leadership will review this data monthly, bring key pieces to grade team meetings, and share quarterly updates with families. That rhythm keeps SEL and culture at the center of our ongoing work, not just something we check on once a year. Success will look like more positive behaviors, logged, fewer low disruptions and disrespect, and important and improved student survey results around happiness, belonging, and feeling emotionally supported at school. In summary, we want every student to feel safe, seen, known, and able to learn. SEL isn't extra, it's how we make academics possible. Ultimately, this work is about the community that we want to build together. We want a school with strong adult and peer anchors, where belonging is real, restorative practices are the norm, and students are developing self awareness and critical thinking. We want families to be true partners and co creators of our culture, not just informed about decisions after the fact. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I'm excited about what we grow together can mean for our students, staff, and families. I'd love to hear your questions, feedback, and ideas. Thank you.